promised, I'm going to show you an example of a Pug project. The concepts that I've described in the previous video are kind of complex when seeing them in just basic syntaxes, so I'm going to show you what a Pug project actually looks like. So this is the slideshow that I've been presenting to you guys throughout the videos and how I plan on kind of continuing the videos. First of all, if you don't enjoy that, please let me know. I'm always open to criticism. Anything that you have to say will surely help me present more material to you later. So with that being said, I'm going to show how my project works. As a very high-level overview, what I'm doing is creating a URL for each and every section that I'm presenting. So you can see in the descriptions down below, typically I'll have a video link and a slide link. That slide you'll see has a query parameter that says subapp. So down here, I am parsing the URL in this get query variable function call here, and what I pass is subapp, and then from that subapp I will load a app onto my website. So here in my load subapp I have document.querySelector container, and then I append the child of the rendered pug. So that subapp.pug actually will produce the entire slideshow from my set of pug files. You don't really have to know too much about this. It's pretty basic. And then at the end of importing that element onto the screen, I basically execute reveal. Reveal is the entire transition and all of that stuff for the slides. If you're not familiar with it, it's a great library to use. So here's a basic definition of each of my categories, my sub-apps. I have hello world, software, etc. Basically everything that's available on my channel currently. And those are defined with the pug function that I import up here. So I'll import hello world from /hello world. So if I look in my directories and I go /hello world, this here is the JavaScript that gets pulled in, and as you can see I import index.pug. That's the beginning of my slideshow. All of my slideshows extend a common slideshow, which if you go up here, I have slideshow.pug. This creates a reveal with slides in it, and then I implement slides in each of my projects. So with that being said, we're going to go back to pug, and we're going to see I implement the block representing slides. In that slide deck, I include each and every slide that I define within the context of that particular presentation. So here's my set of slides. So you can see who am I. I've got section, who am I, this is all reveal, and here is all the pug notation. So you're pretty familiar with this if you watch the video. Here we have a tag declaration that has an ID on it. What I do with that ID is modify it with CSS. You can see here's a CSS rule. So it's pretty straightforward. That one is pretty basic, but let's take a look at the pug presentation. I apologize for the cutscene and everything just kind of swapping on my screen here. The reason for that was I didn't actually have this pulled down from my laptop. So with that being said, let's take a look at implementing a filter. So here I have the use of code. Remember, if you do the equal sign and then a single string, this will interpret code and escape the characters correctly. So here you can see the spans as defined. But let's go ahead and use Markdown so that we can get rid of that use case. Again, those aren't the most reliable ways of doing things. So we're going to go ahead and add the Markdown filter using the colon notation and then the name of the Markdown, the name of the filter being Markdown it. And using Markdown, we're going to say this is HTML, and we're going to surround that with code tags. Go ahead and save it, and you can see here we get the same span. Oh, excuse me, that is inside of a pre-tag. So let's go ahead and change that to a span. We still want the fragment so that we can reveal it. So there you see everything render, and I actually didn't need to escape the single quote there. So let's go ahead and save that over. And there we are. So that's an example of implementing filter in real life. There's not a whole lot more that I do inside of these. I don't need to do a lot of interpolation or iterations, mostly because there's not a lot of things that I can do in a very templated fashion. Oh, so here's another example of the fact that I had to do less than and equal to signs. So that's one example that I could replace. I'm not going to go through and do them all now, but moving forward, I'm going to implement them a lot more. So hopefully this kind of example is a little more concrete than what you were expecting. So hopefully it's helpful. Let me know if there's anything I left off that you'd like to see. I can always reply in comments or shoot another quick video. Thanks for viewing, and I hope to see you in the next one.